Hello and welcome to the Art Hitman. I'm Perry and today I'm going to be drawing Deathstroke step by step. Okay, we're going to begin drawing Deathstroke by putting our line in at the top of the page, dividing the page in half, line from the top of the page down to the bottom. And mind you, draw this line in as light as you can, just in case you need to erase. We're going to start off with a oval for his head, and after that, you want to put two lines for his neck. Now, once you've gotten the two lines in, you want to put an oval shape for the base of his neck, right here. And I'm going to show you how to measure his head with his shoulders so that you know how wide to make his the top portion of his body. You want to take your thumb and your index finger and measure his head shape. And you want to rotate it over to the right, mark it, and then move it over for the left, mark it again. Now, with these two indications here, this is how wide you want his shoulders to be measured by his head. Okay, now at this point for his body, you want to start from where the oval shape is and draw a huge oval shape. This would be for his torso portion of his body. Do the same thing for the left side. Now, once that's done, you want to measure his head again, index finger at the top and the bottom of his chin. Move it down, touch the bottom of his chin, and this is where the base of his chest is going to be. So mark it with your pencil. This mark right here is about the same height as his head proportion with his chest and then to his waist. So you want to mark that there. Now that you're at that point, you want to put an oval shape for his right and then his left shoulder. Then a point in the middle of that oval, come down to his waist. Do the same thing for his left. This is about where his waist will start. You'll put a circle around this point, which would be his elbows. Same thing for his left. Let his arm go off the page. Now that we've gotten to this point, we have his body structure put in place. We'll go ahead now start to begin to draw his head. And you want to start off by just coming around with him and then come down on the side, just like this. Do the same thing for the left side of his head. Come down and then do the left side of his head. Just straight lines here and here. Now, once you get down to this portion, I'll put a line here so you see. You want to make it his chin structure. So you want to come here, stop right at the shoulder line here. Okay, bring the chin in and then go up for his other side of his jaw. So this is essentially the form of his head here. And now I'm going to take and put two lines here, one and then two. This right here separates the front and side of the head. Lines indicate that. Now I want to put a line going across. This is the typical line that we put for where we want our eyes to go. And because Deathstroke has a helmet on that divides his face in half, we'll just use the line that has already divided his face in half and just darken that in with your pencil. Now, at this point, we're going to go ahead on and put the left eye in because Deathstroke has one eye, so his mask is designed that way. So we'll go ahead on and just come in, put a line next to the center line right here. Go up to where we drew this line in for the side of his head and stop there, come around, then come down and then under, just like that. So it's very angular. You want to do the same thing for the underside of the eye of the mask. Come in, go down, and it's straight over, just like this. He has multiple layers going on with his the mask. So under the mask you have another mask that's going to come in like this and arc under and then come around like this. Then you actually have his actual eye right here. Put that, these two lines are just right above each other, and then the main one, that's the contour of the mask itself. Come around like this, and you want to close the top part of the eye up just like this. Now put a little line in half here, and then you want to put his the iris in this part of his eye. Okay, so this portion of his mask is done. Now from here you want to go ahead and start with the right side of his head and have that line come in. That's why I have these lines here indicated, because we need those for the time now. You want to bring a line over just like this, and then you want to continue that line down and then come over right where his jawline is, angle it in just like that, stop. You want to repeat the same thing for the side, the left side of his helmet or mask, and come over just above the that where he can see out of the mask, and then come down, and you want to repeat the same thing with this side. Okay. Now, the bottom portion of his helmet, it has like a breathing apparatus or a space for holes so that he can breathe out of the mask. And there are 4 of them. There's 2 on this side, so I'll just come in very simply and put that like that. Do another one. Repeat the same thing for the left side of the mask so that it's symmetrical or even as possible. Then stop. So at this point, the mask portion is pretty much completed. So now we want to move on to, he has a bandana that comes off the back of the mask. So we're going to go just down, a line that goes down, up, and then over, and then off the page, just like that. So it's a zigzag, zig, and then over. You want to repeat that same width right here. And then kind of come in like this. And you can make it uneven because it gives it a little bit more of a natural or realistic look. You can make this part flare out a little bit and then wider at the end if you want. Now you want to do the same thing. You want to repeat and put one above it. Curve it up, come over just like this. And you can feel free to follow or pause if you need to as I'm putting the shape of the bandana in. If you need to catch up, it's perfectly fine. It's no test, no time. And then curve this line in like this and then go off the page. Same thing on this side. Now if you notice, I'll overlap these and I'll go back in and erase that later. Okay. Now that we have that done, we can bring his neck in. We'll come down like so, right? If you notice, just off the jawline. You want to give him, you want the jawline to bleed past the neckline just a little bit so it looks natural. And you want to bring this line over like this, and bring this line over like this to start his shoulder. Now, from here, I'm going to put in the form of his body very light. So you can follow the contour, come around like this, and then come down. And then bring the bottom portion of his arm out just like this. And repeat the same thing on this side. Follow the form around the circles or ovals that I have drawn for his arms. And this is so you know where things are going to be later, because he has a lot of armor and different things that goes over top of the figure itself. And with this portion of the body, you want to bring this in just like this, come down, draw his waist in, do the same thing for his left side, and then come off the page with his waist. Now I'm going to start to draw the armor portion. The first one is on his right side, so I'm going to come up just off of his shoulder line or shoulder blade, and then come over like this, and you can follow this form and then come down like this, and it kind of goes under like that, and then repeat that. It's a inner layer and then an outer layer. It comes over like this, and you repeat the lines here, bring a line down and bring this line down. Now he has shoulder pads that come out about here, so you can put your finger there if you want, mark how wide that should be, and then go ahead and draw your line in, and then cut. You have to come around above this, so come up past the shoulder and bring that line in like this. Now this line that I'm bringing in now actually comes in over his shoulder just like this, and you can go a little darker so you can cover this out contour line here. Out, in, and then you can bring this portion of it in and then out. See that? Then come back in like this. Now we're going to close this part off by bringing this line in, as you see me doing here, so it matches this part of the shoulder pad. So it's 2 here. Then he has another one that goes under it just like this, and it repeats itself. It does the same thing, same shape. So you're essentially repeating the shape here. Follow that contour and then stop here and then come around. Now we're going to go across his chest. He has a belt that holds maybe some weapons, bombs, and things like that, military equipment. And so we'll draw a box here just like this. And then there's a cylinder shape right next to it. Put that in. Then he has a belt that we want to add and put in there like this. So I'm going to put a line here and here. Then you want to continue this just past that cylinder shape, and then there's another pouch, and there's 2 of them. They might be short knives. We can use your imagination and imagine what weapons he might have in these pouches once we actually make them pouches. And you're going to come across his body just like this. Stop there. Now I'm not going to add in any detail just yet, so we're going to continue, and under this he has a bulletproof type of vest that comes up, and it's going to come down to the center of this line here, come over, and then come down again. We'll come out to his rib cage down here, and then let it come down this way. We'll repeat the same thing on his right side. So it's kind of like a protective body armor. Now after that, there is a border. I'm going to repeat that line and come in and do the same thing here, same thing here. And you can stop it right there. Then there's a line in the center, and it goes up just like this. I'm going to repeat that right over here. And now I'm going to come down a little bit and bring the line over here, just across under it. And there's openings here, so you want to draw up an opening here. And this is covered by the belt. Now we're going to come back up to the shoulder pad here and then come around and repeat this shape under, just like that, because we don't see what happens after that, or how it hides under this piece of the shoulder pad. Coming around like this, and he has another pad that comes in over on his arm, just like this, and draw an angle here. And it's kind of like almost like a triangular shape. And then we're going to bring over a band that comes over just like this. Then stop. And we're going to continue finishing the right arm. So just under this pad here, there's going to be flexion folds. And these are folds that where you bend your arm and you can see the material. And he has an outer kind of armor that comes down just like this. Now you come under here, this is where the bicep is, and continue that in. He has more wrinkles of flexion folds here. Then you want to go off the page. Now I'm going to close this up. There's a few things that I'm continuing here. We're going to go over to his left side. Now with his left side, we want to make this even, so we're going to bring a line in just like this. I'll show you that trick. I lightly put a line right across here, and that way you know where you want the other shoulder pad to come in. You want to drop that right here, and we're going to go with the top or outer portion of the contour and follow the shape on around, and we'll build it. Bring it just like this, and bring this over. Now there's another kind of arc that comes in like this, and you're going to bring it just like that. And then finally there's a big piece that covers the entire shoulder that comes around like this and comes down like this. And repeat the same thing on the inside. You're going to bring a line into this, cut it over, and then arc like this. And just like over here, there is a piece that comes under like this and come over. and they all serve a different purpose. So this one has a little pocket that comes in almost like this. You draw almost like a small cube and a square like that, and bring this piece under over the arm, and bring that same band as we did over here. And with this piece here, there's a band that comes up like that. The same thing here. And there's another band right here we'll put just underneath the rib cage. And then come down like that. And do the same thing for his right side. Okay. So there's when he finishes left arm. So he has a line that's going to come in like this, and we're going to measure that bicep over here so it's even. Cut this bicep in and go to the left, and then bring just like the flexion flexion folds on the right side. We're going to do the same thing on this left side and repeat that. Come in over, and he has a piece that goes over like this, and just like over here, we're going to come in and bring like I think they're like 4 arm guards. Bring it right off the page and kind of repeat that same thing, just like we did over here. Repeat that and take it off the page. Take the rest of his arm off the page. And now we're going to move over to the bottom portion of the armor, or the bulletproof vest that he's wearing. And these little spaces here, we're going to bring kind of like bands that come down underneath that as well. Deathstroke definitely has a lot of overlapping different things. That's for his weapons and different things that he has on as a character. So this is the official way of trying to draw it, and so we want to make sure we cover it all. Now it looks like we just about got it. For his left shoulder pad, we do want to bring in, they look like shells, so we're going to bring a line just like this. We'll just keep it simple, straight lines, and do the same thing here. And we are going to put some shells on it. 1, 2, and 3. The others will more likely recede behind him, so you won't see those. And we definitely don't want to forget his sword, so we want to indicate a sword that comes out of his back like this. And 2 lines right next to each other. 1, 2, and then a handle. A simple handle will do. Bring it around like this and then go up just about where his head is. And then put a handle there. Okay. Now, we're going to go ahead and add some detail to his neck area. You want to bring 1 line over down to the bulletproof vest, and bring another one over just like this, and repeat the same thing for his left side. Bring a line down the center, and you have 1 angle here, back, and do the same thing. Repeat that over here. Then there's another one over top of it just like this, and repeat it. There's a line that comes up to indicate the rest of his neck. And at this point, I should bring this line in here. What we're going to do is we're going to add detail to these pouches. So we have a flap that comes over. You want to bring a line over like this and create a box. You want to create another line right there, just like I just did. Come around like this. You're going to divide that in half, just like this. And then bring another line in like this. So what I'm going to show you is you have a line here, 2, 3. And what that does, it separates to make the pouch. And then he has little straps that overlaps that. You want to do it just like this. And repeat the same thing here. Now, with the cylinder that I replaced here earlier, you just want to put a line over it like this, like the strap that he has is holding that down. And it looks like some type of canister or small gas bomb or something that he has on there. Then there's another 2 pouches. Instead of like these you want to divide in half, and they have 2 curved flaps that goes over what he's kind of concealed in there. And you repeat these lines. They come in Just very lightly put them in and come down. Now what I'm doing here is adding stripes to most of what's on here. And you can do the same thing, bring lines, outer lines, just like this. Alright, so we're just about there. And do the same thing here, repeat this shape for his guard that's right here. Now, if you've drawn up to this point, you have just completed the entire drawing of Deathstroke. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean all of this up with an eraser. You can use a kneaded eraser. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add the final details, and that will complete this drawing.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe by clicking this round button at the bottom. Also, click one of the 2 videos at the top. Please like this video, tell a friend, and share it on Facebook. Thank you.
The Art Hitman.